Hey tubers, Tim Hawkins here and welcome back to season 2 or the reboot of the Hawk interviews here on GT-VTV on YouTube, and thanks very much for joining us. We're pretty excited after a 2-year hiatus of, through events that, were beyond our control, but we are back and I'm very pleased to announce for the first episode of the next season, or season 2 of the Hawk interviews, I have a fellow with me that we've had on the show in the past, a couple of years ago now, a guy by the name of Mr. Simon Hartley from the band the Fyoogs. Hi Simon. How you going, mate?
Good, thank you. Yeah, good. How are you?
Thanks for coming down and being a part of it, mate. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Since we saw you last, and that was about 3.5 years ago now, that you were on this.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at Twin Earth, did it in Twin Earth in the studio.
Yeah, well, you've been. Yeah, that's right. You've released 2 albums, I believe, in that time since we saw you last. The first one being Dust.
Yeah.
And this latest one, in that close to there. What's it called?
Ambedo.
Ambedo?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. What is Ambedo?
Ambedo is like a sort of melancholic trance you can get into watching raindrops going down a window in a storm, or perhaps like a sunset or something.
Or a waterfall, or
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then before that it was Dust. It was a bit of a long-winded album. I don't know, like 13, 14 songs on it or something.
Yeah, I remember.
And this album's a little bit shorter, maybe 8 songs.
Okay, yeah, cool.
But they're quite different from each other.
They recorded in the same studio, both those albums?
Well, the beds were done, actually with both albums, the beds were done sort of different people over different times, but at Twin Earth, Somerson Park, with John O, which is a great place to record. And then finished off with Evan James at his Crayford's Bunker Studios.
So yeah, Evan's still at it these days, is he?
Yeah, he is, yeah. We sort of did all the overdubs, or most of the overdubs up there through a winter or so. It's got a fireplace, it's a really cool atmosphere, it's good, yeah.
Right, cool. And so you recorded both, were they mastered in that studio? Or
yeah, Evan sort of recorded it, mixed it, mastered it and produced it.
Nice. Was that the Dust album?
Yeah, the Dust album and this Ambedo as well.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Ambedo was a little bit different. We lost the old bass player, went into stage.
Oh, Mitch, he's gone.
Yeah, Mitch went. I didn't realise so much of a functioning band doing live shows and that, so I collaborated with Kevin Lewis.
Right.
Who I jammed with a bit before. He was a bass player and a guitarist, really good. And we sort of started working on these songs, and then we got all players in, like heaps of players in.
I noticed on that album, I listened to it the other day when you gave it to me, and I listening to it, I'm just amazed, because for me, I've been following, we've been mates for a long time, and I've been following like back from Blue Experience days in the 80s and the 90s, and I've always managed to find that Blue Experience sound a bit in everything you've done in the past, even though you've moved on further. It's still there, and that's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It's just that surf feel that you've always sort of gone with. But I noticed with Dust, it's a very desert rock style, more of a desert, psychedelic desert rock kind of feel. Whereas this album, it's every song is, I'm listening to this album and I'm like, oh, I like this song, and I'm thinking, oh, this is really jazzy, this is a very jazz thing, which is a bit different for you, and then I'm listening away and I'm going, hang on, this is like almost country rock here, what I'm listening to. It's like that southern rock, and I'm thinking, just slightly, it's not like, you like your boots scooting, or anything to it, but that's how I got the feeling I got from it. I noticed there's a lot more instruments in this latest album than you've ever worked with before in the studio, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. I don't know, it wasn't deliberate. I was sort of hoping to make things a little bit more laid back, but the songwriting I really tried to emphasise more about just less guitar and place the emphasis on melody and storytelling.
Yeah, yeah.
And try and make it a bit sort of less going on, although I have this terrible habit of getting to the end of the takes and everyone's going, I think we've got enough now. There's only 15 guitar tracks for that song to sort out.
Yeah, right.
But I really like working with him because he's good at I give him all his ideas.
Who's this?
With Evan, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then he'll go through and just use what he needs. And we've done it with the keyboards and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time sort of arranging them with Kev. And then we've got a load of players in, 2 drummers, different drummers, 2 different keyboard players, saxophone, violin, a choir.
Wow.
And percussion.
A choir?
Yeah, a small choir, a girls' choir from the school, yeah.
Oh, right, so you acquired it from the school?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
There's about 6 of them, I think.
Wow.
And so yeah, it was different, but yeah, it was good fun. And
I don't recall you ever working with a sax player before. I know you had a flautist in the band for a while once, many years ago. I seem to recall.
Yeah, we did.
It's not the same person.
No, this was a chap from Interstate, Damien Hills.
Okay.
He was like one of Australia's leading sax players.
Well, who's that?
Amazing guy, Damien Hills.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
I hope I've got that right. His name's Damien. And yeah, and Taz again, he was back in Work Experience days.
Oh, okay.
Playing keyboards.
Yeah.
Real quirky, great player, really creative. And then a young drummer, and Takeshi playing jazz drums and the percussion and all that.
And a percussionist as well, yeah. I wondered if there was like a lot of work in the studio overdubbing percussion stuff, but you actually had a percussion player there.
Yeah, we did doing the beds.
Yeah, right.
But
cool.
also we had, which was a bit different, was getting another guitarist in, Chris Parkinson from the Earlings.
Oh yeah, Chris, yeah, nice guy, yeah, great.
Great player.
Really good player, yeah. Got a great collection of old guitars, yeah.
50s stuff.
Yeah, nice guy. He used to work at, I don't know if he's still there, but he used to work at Big Star Music.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
In Norwood, yeah. And Tasman, you got Tasman back in the band for this album as well.
Yeah, well, he was on a Dust album. He's very busy, and he's actually really good at. We gave him some tracks, and he just lays down stuff himself, records it himself, sends us all his ideas, and we use what we want.
Excellent.
Whereas, previously we got him in the studio.
That's great, man. And what was the album you brought out before Dust when we saw you last time? I can't remember what it was called now.
The album before Dust?
Yeah.
God knows, I can't remember.
But there was a fair while off during that.
There was quite a few.
Because I know that you went off and you were working on another project for some time there for a while. This book that you've written.
Yeah, well, I went into detox centre.
A detox centre, right?
Yeah, to get off of that.
The Devil Thumbs a Ride, and it is basically, well, it's an autobiography, isn't it? It's a biographical account of Simon Hartley from about the age of, I don't know, 12 or something when you first moved over to Australia?
Yeah, it is, yeah. And mainly focused on doing music and all that sort of stuff and some funny stories, but the problem I had with a doctor and medication and getting really addicted. And getting off it.
I read this book in, it's an easy read, people. I read it in about 4 or 5 hours the day you dropped it off. Couldn't put it down, to be perfectly honest. I kept waiting to see where I was, and I'm not really, and I'm not.
No, you get a mention for all that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got a slight mention in there, but that's fine, mate, because you can't. The book's about you, not me. If you want to write a book about me, I'm happy, to fill in on the details because it's really well written, man. I was impressed, and it's got everything in it. From I knew you spent some time in South Africa.
Yeah.
You went over there to surf for surfing in a team, like for?
No, just that was America when I did that. This was just surfing.
Yeah, right. But you went over there just surfing the west coast of Africa or something like that.
When I just turned 15 and I went on my own.
Right, and you spent some time over there and got up to some shenanigans, I got to say, in this book. There's a whole lot of stuff in there I didn't know about. We've been good at keeping that a secret, but it's a great book. It's got photos in there too from back in the old days with your Bad Blue experience when you started back in the old days, and they're the Fyoogs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a really, really good book, and I strongly recommend people to if they can grab that, want a good read, that's the one. The Devil Thumbs a Ride, and it's available in all bookstores and online as well, like Dimmicks and all of the bookstores. If you type in a Google search for The Devil Thumbs a Ride, Simon Hartley, there's lots of different places selling it. You've made reference to one of your old songs. The title, The Devil Thumbs a Ride, was because I remember years ago, 10 years ago maybe, watching a film clip that you put out called Devil Thumbs a Ride, and it was a really, really neat film clip too, I've got to say.
It was Matt Zilm did that, from Morpeth. We spent a few months one winter driving around back streets up in Wollonga and stuff like that. It was good fun. Doing a lot of filming at night because we wanted it
that dark.
Yeah.
It's kind of really, when I looked at it, it just reminded me quite a lot of the film Sin City. It just for some reason
well, that was the reference when Matt said, "What do you want?" I said something like that.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good film clip. That you can still, you can see that.
That's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, folks. If you want to check that out, The Devil Thumbs a Ride. But the book's excellent read. So after that, you said you went into detox and stuff like that. Or was that before all of this? That was during?
No, it was before that when I got out, and then I had to sort of try and rehabilitate myself because I was completely.
And then you got back heavily into the music again after that.
Yeah,
great stuff, man.
And then started at the same time I was writing that, we were working on the Dust album.
Yeah.
And then did this one. I was starting on the new one.
You've already started a new one?
Yeah, well, we haven't laid the beds down yet, but the songs are all there, and I'm still just doing the finishing touches on the songs, getting them right, and rehearsing with a few people. But I'm always looking for people to collaborate with, like especially keyboard players, perhaps a drummer and stuff as well. This will be similar to the last album where we get loads of people in.
Yeah, cool.
Trying something different.
Makes it hard, so you're not really gigging at the moment then?
No, we're not, no.
No, okay.
We'd like to.
Yeah.
More time we will. You've got to like learn one set for playing live and then learn stuff that you want to do in the studio.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not going to be easy because unless you've got simplified versions of these songs where you can do it a 4-piece, which is not really going to cut it, is it? I mean, you really want to get up there. There's probably 7 or 8 people. I mean, what, you had 2 keyboard players?
Well, yeah, not on the same songs, but...
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But, we've got sax and violin and singers and keyboard players and drums players. It's like, other guitarists and stuff like that.
Well, that means also...
organised band practice.
Yeah. And getting together for rehearsals. I mean, the choir, well, do they... How you've got to rehearse them a bit, I guess, but that's the other trouble is getting a bunch of schoolgirls in a choir to a pub to do a gig with a rock band. It's kind of like, but
maybe Big Easy one day, Dan or Dingo.
Yeah.
That's something like that. Perhaps we'll do.
Yeah. Okay, well that's good, man. I'm really glad things are coming your way again, and I've noticed you've got some notes there, man. Is there anything you want to kind of talk about before we sort of wind up here? I don't know how we're going for time.
We're good. I think we've covered everything. No worries. It's been good.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about at all?
Not off the top of my head. I'll probably remember when you say cut.
Yep. That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
You drive away and go, forgot to mention.
Yeah.
You know. Well, there's no one you haven't mentioned, so that's good. But no, I'm really loving that new album, man. I've listened to it about 4 or 5 times now, and every time I hear it, and that's that's the sign of a good recording, isn't it? Is you sit back and listen to it after 100 times, and you're still saying, oh wow, I never really noticed that little riff there before, you know.
Yeah,
or whatever.
there is a lot going on, even though I'm always trying to find more space.
Space, yeah.
Always love to do less, but I always end up doing more.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Some of the busiest music I've listened to, and you think there's still space in there, and it's incredible. It's an art form in itself.
That sounds really great. That's what Evan's good at. That's why it's been great working with him.
Yeah,
and the others too. Some great players, and they've been really lucky.
Yeah, well, that's good, man. I'm hoping maybe you can get some of these people back for the next recording.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that'd be ideal, wouldn't it? I mean, even if you can't do the gigs live,
we're focused on recording at the moment. Instead of working on albums, we're going to maybe just start doing more singles, spend more time on one song, and just
singles.
Yeah.
Wow, you haven't done that before, have you?
Oh, yeah, little bits, but
The Devil Thumbs the Ride was a single, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But,
very different. I mean.
Yeah. Well, you had a completely different band back then. You had another guitarist in the band, like I think it was Jim from Loaded Billy.
Yeah.
In the band back then.
Bass player, different drummers. Actually, a couple of different drummers. It's always like that. I mean, John Twin Earth was making jokes like Simon's coming. We don't know who he's coming with. It's always sort of different. But
right.
It's been good working with Kev at the moment. He's a really good acoustic guitarist and bass player. So I just need someone to work off like that.
And he's got good ideas that work with you, so that's
a similar thing, yeah.
That's excellent, man. That's really good. I'm glad to hear it.
And hopefully the gigs will come. But
yeah, that's it. You just got to go for slightly larger venues nowadays, I guess. You know, if you're with that band.
I'll probably might even do 3 or 4 piece or something like that.
Yeah, just get out there and do some gigs again. But
I was thinking today, I was playing today, and I was like, every time I go in and pick up the guitar, I always get distracted and make something else up. I've got fucking put on the phone and try and remember it.
Yeah.
I can't. I have to spend trying to work out why did I play.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, man.
But I was thinking it'd be great just to have a 3-piece or even 4-piece and just go to a small venue and jam. Have a sort of basic idea with the guys and then sort of jam it.
Yeah, well, that's great, and that's the
nice
thing.
Fun for the band.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Otherwise, it's a lot of stress, and you've got the stress also of pubs these days. I mean, all pubs. You're playing in a hotel, and they go, here's your stage, and you look at it, and you look at the drummer and go, well, there's your drum riser, man. I mean, we'll go up the front on the first part of the dance floor, or whatever. Imagine having a 7-piece, it'd be.
Yeah, well, it's even more than that. But,
well, yeah, it's 6 singers as well, so right up there, man. A dozen people. It's like,
yeah, we'd have them all set up in the car park or something. It's all good, right? Yeah.
Excellent, man. All right, well, look, thanks a lot for coming in today, man. I really appreciate it. I know it's been hard for you to get here, and you're a fair way away and stuff.
That's cool, that's really good. Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it, man. But we'll leave it there for this time. We'll get you back again. If you're gonna, you've got another album coming out. You said you got some singles. Are you releasing them separately, or?
Well, we've got one coming out in maybe a few weeks that we've already done, but we'll start the next recording session.
Oh, okay.
It might be a short album or singles. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe we'll get you back for that as well, and maybe even get Kevin. Yeah, Kevin to come in as well, and we can chat with him too.
Yeah, I'll try not to speak, but that'll be good.
Yeah, we'll just have him there so as he looks silly. There's nothing more fantastic than that. There's like someone, what did that guy do? He didn't do anything.
It reminds me of Lenny from Motorhead when he said, with this band's a democracy, we all vote and then I decide.
Yeah, good one. All right, well, look, thanks a lot, Simon, man. We're going to leave it there.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries, man. You're welcome. Okay, well, that's it for us. Really great having you on and checking out our first episode of the Hawk interviews. Don't forget to subscribe to GT-VTV and hit that notifications bell. And also, if you felt like tuning into radioksa.com on a Sunday night at 8 o'clock Adelaide time, I do a show on there, just an hour long, playing vinyl. It's called the Vinyl Vault, and it's just an hour of my own vinyl collection. It'd be great if you could join me on there as well. But until the next time, that's it for us at GT-VTV and the Hawk interviews. Thanks a lot and have a good one.